Hey guys, it's me, Doro44, and I'm back with another video. Today's video is probably the one that I should have done first on my channel, and it is how to set up your OBS. I know you can pick between OBS and Streamlabs OBS, but this video in particular is going to be on regular OBS. I will have a future video that is specific to Streamlabs OBS because that program has more features to it, and honestly, I still have to learn that one. But for this video, it's going to be a tutorial. So it's going to be no face cam like this. It's just going to be my desktop, and we're just going to be setting up OBS the way I would set it up. I'll show you guys how to do it with and without overlay packages. If you don't have any overlays, that's totally okay. I will show you just the basics of what you need to get set up so that you can just click go live and then start streaming. So I hope you guys like the video, and if you do, consider giving it a like down below, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. It really shows me that you guys enjoy these videos and that you actually want more of them. So enough of that, let's just get into the video. So you're going to want to download OBS, and the way you do that is you go to obsproject.com, and then you can either download it for Windows, Mac OS, or even Linux. So in this case, I am running it on Windows. I already have it downloaded, but you would just click download and then follow the step-by-step instructions to install it. Once it's installed, it's going to open up and look like this. So this is OBS right here. What we're going to do is I'm going to set up an OBS as if it's basic. It's got everything you need in order to click go live and start streaming to your audience. So we're just going to start. So right down here, what we have are the scenes and sources. So your scenes are the different scenes, so like your starting, your BRB, your live gameplay, and then within the scenes you have different sources, so your camera, your microphone, alerts, all of that. And they're pretty easy to set up, but first, before we do that, we're going to actually jump over to the top left, and we're going to click on File and go over to Settings. And I'm going to just show you what settings I'm running right now and what I suggest. So for the General tab, I don't really mess with anything here other than the theme. I just set it to dark, and then to automatically check for updates on startup. After that, just click apply, and then go over to where it says stream on the left. Now you're going to want to choose your service. So in this case, I'm streaming to Twitch, but you can also stream it to YouTube, Facebook, or Restream, and even Twitter. And then you're going to want to choose your server. You want to choose the closest server to where you live. So in my case, it's Chicago, Illinois. But you have all of these to choose from right here. So just pick the one whichever's closest to wherever you live so that you have the best experience with OBS. Now right here where it says stream key, this is really important. This is what connects OBS to your actual Twitch account so that when you do click go live, you're actually live on the correct profile. You do not want to share this with anybody, because if they get a hold of your stream key, then they can go live on your account. And the way you find your stream key is you'd go over to your web browser, go to your Twitch account. On the top right, you're going to click on your profile and then creator dashboard. And then you want to go over to where it says settings on the left and then click on stream. And then it's going to be right here at the top. Just copy it, go back to OBS, and then paste it right here. Remember, do not share this stream key with anyone. After that, you're just going to click apply. And then we're going to go over to where it says output on the left side. Now, there are two different ways that you can encode depending on your hardware. So X264 encoding is using your CPU of your computer to encode your stream and, run it. While if you do have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can do the new NVENC encoder, which is an encoder built into the graphics card itself. I believe it's only on the RTX cards though. So if you have an RTX card, you could try using the NVENC encoder if your CPU is not strong enough to stream. But I would just play around with these. In my instance, I actually do have a CPU that I bought for streaming purposes, so I just use X264. And then I set my rate control to CBR, and then your bit rate right here, this number is very important. The higher this number is, the better quality your stream is going to be. But some people who are using mobile data or might have a bad Wi-Fi connection, it's probably going to buffer for them a lot. And also you want to have a really good internet connection if you're going to be raising this number here. You can go over to your web browser and then just type in internet speed test. And then Google has a built-in one right here. So you can just run the speed test, and you don't really want to pay attention to the download number, but you want to pay attention to the upload number. This is the key number that you're going to need to know if you can stream efficiently to Twitch. Now, my numbers are going to be skyrocketed because I have fiber internet. But for most people, you're going to want at least 5 megabytes upload speed to stream efficiently to Twitch. You can go with a little bit less, but 5 is optimal. So once you have that upload number, if you have a good number right there, then you can set this bitrate accordingly. Now, I would say the least you want to go is 2500. Anything lower than that, and then your stream quality is going to really show on your stream, and it's going to be kind of bad. And then if you go too high, the stream quality is going to be great, but again, some people won't be able to watch your stream as fluidly. So I set mine around 3,000 to 4,000. I find that 3,000 looks great. It runs great, and viewers don't have any issue watching my stream. So I would just play around with it and get some feedback from your viewers and see if people are having buffering issues or not. And then I set my keyframe interval to 2. And then right here, if you're using the X264 encoder, you can choose right here your CPU usage preset. The faster it is, the less CPU it uses, meaning it's not as taxing on your CPU, but the quality won't be as good. The lower you go, the more CPU intensive it is, but your stream quality is going to be a lot higher. I run an AMD Ryzen 3900X, so I keep mine at fast. It's kind of like a middle ground. I could probably set it to medium, maybe even slow, but I don't really see a difference between those and fast. And again, you don't have to worry about any of this if you switch over to the NVENC encoder right here. If you do use the NVENC encoder, you can set it to performance, max performance, low latency, depending on your graphics card really. Usually you'd want to set it to quality or performance. And then I set my profile to high, and then that's it for this page right here. And then I just click apply. And then you want to go over to your audio settings. So this is going to be important as well. So for most people, you're going to want to go over to where it says microphone right here, and then you're going to want to select your microphone that you're using. So in my case, I'm using the Elgato, but it does come with a software that I use, so I have to actually use the software in order for it to work on OBS. And then for your desktop audio, you can just set that to default, and then you should be good here as well. Click apply, and there you go. You can see that my microphone is down here, popping up and down, meaning it is capturing my voice. You can even do a test right here to see if your desktop audio catches as well. So it is, so that's going. So we got that set up correctly. Once you click apply, go over to video, and then right here for the base canvas resolution, you're going to want to set this to your monitor's resolution. So if you don't know that, you can right click on the desktop and go to display settings. You can scroll down and it will show you your display resolution. So mine is at 1440p. So that's what my base canvas resolution is at. Now for your output resolution, this is what you want to output and show your viewers. So I have mine set at 720p. I feel like that's the more accessible resolution. You can stream at 1080p. Some people might have an issue with it buffering, and only partners are guaranteed for their viewers to actually be able to change the resolution on their end. Twitch affiliates do not have that option. Occasionally you will see it, but that's only if not enough partnered streamers are streaming at that time. So it's not guaranteed. I would honestly suggest using 720p to be more accessible to more viewers. I set my filter to Lanskos, 36 samples. That's just the sharpening. And then I set my frames at 60 frames per second. Depending on your hardware, you can do either 30 or 60. I would suggest 60 at first, just to see how it runs. Usually the games I play at are at 60 frames per second. Just play around with it and see which one works best for you. But 720p, 60 FPS for me is the sweet spot. Once you're done there, you're going to want to click apply. And then honestly, that's where I finish off in the OBS setting. Now from here, we can set up our scenes and our sources. So I'm going to just show you the basics on how to just get it set up and ready to go. And then I'm actually going to show you guys how mine is set up on my end. So what we're going to do is we're going to just create a scene. I'm going to rename this one and we're just going to call it live. So this is the scene that we're going to be on while we're live with our face cam and our alerts and our gameplay. So what you're going to want to do first is your camera. So make sure you have your camera connected to your computer. And then once you're ready to select it, click that plus button and go over to video capture device. I'm going to name it cam. I'm going to click OK. And that's going to pop up with this window right here. I have my PlayStation connected through my Elgato. We'll actually get to that here in a second. But for the camera, click on whatever your camera is. So mine is the Cam Link. Looks like it's turned off right now. There we go. Hey guys. And then from here, just click OK. And then just resize it to whatever you want it to be. So I'm just going to resize it to be about that big and then just put it in the corner. And then from there, you've got your camera. Now, in my case, my camera also picks up audio from it, so I have to mute my camera so that it's just my microphone, so it's not doubling. Now, from here, you've got your camera. We've got our microphone set up as well, so that's two things. And now we really just need our gameplay, to be honest with you. So we're going to go over to the plus sign. Now, there's two ways of doing it. It all depends on how you're streaming your game. If you're streaming your game from your actual computer, you can do game capture, which is right here. This is what I would suggest. And then you can either have the mode set to capture any full screen application, or better yet, in my opinion, I would click on capture specific window. And then once your game is open, you want to open the game first so that it shows up in this toolbar. Click on the toolbar and then it's going to show up right here. So for example, you'll see Call of Duty or Fall Guys or whatever. You're going to click that and then your game will show up here. That's the best way to capture your game from your computer. Now, if you're like me, I prefer streaming my games from my console so that I have full control of my PC. I only have a single PC build. I don't have a dual PC setup. So I don't like alt-tabbing out of my games constantly. So I stream from my PlayStation. So I have my PlayStation connected to a capture card. If you're going to want to do that, you're going to want some sort of capture card. I use the Elgato HD60S. Love it. It does everything I want it to do. So the PlayStation is connected to that capture card, and then the capture card is connected to my PC. I can make a separate video for you guys on how to hook up your Elgato and get that all ready to go. If you'd like me to, let me know in the comments down below. But in this case, we're streaming from the PlayStation. So we're going to click that plus button and your capture card actually comes up as video capture device. So we're going to click that. I'm going to rename this Elgato. I'm going to click OK. And then you're going to actually see that it pops up right here already in the devices. So you have a bunch of different ones. You want to click on the one that says video and then #01. And then if for some reason in my setup, I have to scroll down to where it says audio output mode. So I have to click on direct sound and then you can see right here, the sound is going. So we got that set up. You can click OK. And then what you can do is you can right click it. You can go down to where it says transform, and then you can do fit to screen. So now you have it on full screen, so your viewers see your gameplay at full screen. But now you notice that my camera's gone. That's because in your sources tab right here, it does go in order. So if you want your camera on top of the gameplay, you need to actually move the camera source on top of Elgato's source right there, and then I pop up right here. You also are going to want to do that with your alerts. Make sure that your alerts, we're about to add those here in a second, are all the way at the top. Because if they're not, you're going to hear them, but you're not going to see them because they're actually going to be underneath the layer of your gameplay or whatever you've got. So we've got our camera set up, we've got our microphone set up, and now we have our gameplay set up. So all you really need now are your alerts, because your viewers like seeing alerts pop up when someone follows, when someone subscribes or donates. You really want to use those. So I like to use Streamlabs. You can use Streamlabs or Stream Elements. There might be another one that does it too, but I prefer Streamlabs currently. They're very easy to use. I've never really had any problems with them. So once you go to Streamlabs' website and you log in and you authorize your Twitch account to use Streamlabs, you're going to be brought to this screen right here. So from here, you can go over to where it says Alert Box, click on that. And then this is where you can build your alerts. So the way I have it set up right now is that I bought an overlay package. I imported those alerts that came with my overlay package into Streamlabs. So that's how mine are set up. But I do have one down here that's actually not from my overlay package that I can show you how to do. So you can click on any of them, follow, subscription, whatever you want to do. So in this case, we'll just do the subscription one. You can go down and you can completely customize it. So make sure it's enabled first and foremost if you do want it to show up. You can do the layout option for it. And then you can do a message template if you really want. Usually mine just says the name of the person has just subscribed or has just followed. And then right here where it says image, you can have a still image or you can have a GIF. Right now I have Ricardo. He's one of my favorite memes, but the way you would choose that is you would go over to the right where it says select image, click on that. There's a bunch of different stock ones that come with Streamlabs. I used a custom one where you would go to uploads and then you would just find a GIF that you like, save it to your computer, and then upload it in here and then use it. Make sure you select it and then it'll pop up right here. Same thing for the sounds as well. You can go over to select audio. There's a bunch of different stock ones that you can use, or you can upload your own MP3 file and then use that. And then you can set the sound volume for when the alert plays and how loud it is, how long it goes for, and then the delay as well. Make sure you click on the Save Settings button, and then what you want to do is go all the way up, go to where it says Widget URL, and don't show this to anybody either, or else they can just use your alerts. But you're going to want to copy it, and then go back over to OBS, and then back down in the Sources tab, you can click on the plus sign. Now, since it's a URL, you're going to want to go onto the browser item right here. And then we're just going to name this alert. Click OK. And in the URL section right here, we're going to paste that URL that we grabbed from our Streamlabs and then click OK. And then you can see this red empty box right here. So I'm going to right click it actually, transform it, and then we're going to center it to the screen so that when the alert pops up, it shows right in the middle. And then what we can do as well, you can go over back to the alert panel on Streamlabs, and then you can test your actual alerts. So we're going to test this subscription one, and then you can see it actually pops up in OBS. So that's how you can do that. It's pretty easy to set up, guys. But once you have your alert set up and your microphone and your camera, you're pretty much all set to go. This is what people would see when you go live, and this is honestly all you need. I do want to mention these scene transitions right here. You can have a couple different ones right here. So actually, let me do a new scene real quick called Scene 2. So the fade, when you switch between your scenes, does this fade effect. You can also do a cut where it's more sudden. And then they have different ones too. You can add a stinger, which is a custom like animation that you can add yourself as well. There's a bunch of different ones that you can use. But after that, guys, once this is all set up, you can just click start streaming and go live. What I personally like to do before I go live is I actually start a recording and then I pretend as if I'm just streaming to people. I test my audio, I test everything is working, there's no delay, and I rewatch that recording before I click start streaming. Try to get in the habit of doing that because then that's less problems that you might encounter while you stream. But yeah, guys, after that, that's pretty much all you need is just your camera, your game capture, set up your microphone, and then your alerts. And then from there, you can customize it to be even more. I'm actually about to show you guys what mine looks like and kind of break down and walk you through how I have mine set up. Okay, so this is what mine looks like. Like I said, I do have an overlay package, and I got mine from Nerd or Die. You can also do Owned 3D. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I just use the Nerd or Die ones, but I'm not sponsored. I'm just letting you guys know that these are a couple that people use a lot. I don't use Owned because they tend to be a little bit more expensive, but they do have a lot of sales and they do have more overlays in my opinion. But I just went to Nerd or Die. I went to the shop. I went to the all overlay section right here. And then I just found one that I liked. I really like this borderline one. This is actually the one that I use currently. And then you can see right here what this comes with. So it comes with camera borders. It comes with all of these different banners. It comes with all of these alerts, screens, and transitions. It comes with a lot. But once you buy it, it'll give you all of the files. And actually, I can show you what the files look like. It'll come like this minus these three down here. These are my own things. But from here, you would just click on the borderline overlay and then you can just click on the get started. And then there's a setup guide in there for you. And the way you would import this, because you can actually import it into OBS. It's actually really simple. I'll show you guys how to do it. So if I wanted to import my overlay that I use, you would just go up here to where it says tools. And then you would go down to where it says scripts. Click on that. And then from here, mine's already imported, but you would just click on this plus sign right here. And then you would go over to wherever you have your overlay saved. So you would just go to the borderline overlay. And then you would go into OBS Studio Quick Install. And then you would click this .lua file right here. And then you would click open. It would pop up right here for you. And then you can either set up all of the scenes or you can set up specific ones. So if I click on set up all scenes and then click close, you can see down here in the bottom left that it imported all of the pre-made scenes for you. So there's your welcome screen, there's a starting screen, the BRB, the ending, and even the in-game. Then you can customize all of these things, the times, the URLs, even the icons. So if I switch back over to mine, the way I have mine set up is I have the stingers as my transition, so that animation that plays when I switch between scenes. I have my URL set up right here, which are really easy to do. You would just click on the social text, and then as you can see, it highlights the different ones. So for instance, if I wanted to change this Twitter icon, you can just double click this, click on browse, and it'll take you to all of your icons that are saved right here. And then you can choose a different one. For the Twitter handle, you can just double click that and then you can type in whatever you want here and then it'll show up. And then you can move these around. Same thing for the time as well. I also have a countdown timer as well. It's called Snaz, and in Snaz, this is what I use right before I go live, about 5 minutes. I just set my date to whatever date it is that day and then what time I want it to count down to. Once it reaches that time, it shows this message, and it's pretty easy to set up. You would just click start, make sure you know where this file is at, and then within here you would just click on the plus sign, and then you would go over to where it says text GDI and then find the file. And then for instance, this is called the countdown file, and then there it is right there for you. So that's how I have my starting set up. And then it's pretty much the same thing for the BRB. I still have to actually work on these ones because again, I deleted everything in order to make the video on accident. But then within my live setup, this is what it looks like for me. So as you can see right above me, I have this social media banner that pops up. It's actually from Nerd or Die as well. It was about like $1 or $2, and you fully customize it on their website. The icons, the colors, the handles, and then the animation as well. And so I have mine set to loop every 45 minutes for you guys. And again, that is all on Nerd or Die. I'll have a link in the description below for that as well if you want to add that to your stream. And then I have my camera set up, and then I have this border set up right above it as well. And then I've got my socials and my alerts right here. and then my gameplay, obviously, with the sound. Pretty much how we set it up in the other one. I also do have a thing called merch right here because I guess this is a good time to announce it, but I do have a merchandise store that just dropped because this video is coming out today, which is Tuesday. It dropped on Friday, guys. I have a new merchandise store. I have the link in the description below and on my Twitch page as well. If you want to check it out, we've got t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. But what's really nice about it is when someone does buy something from my merch store, it's an alert and it'll show up on my screen. And it's the same way we actually did the alerts from Streamlabs. It's just a URL and then you just add it as a URL source and then you have it set up like an alert. And honestly, the merch store was really easy to actually set up. And let me know in the comments down below, would you guys want to watch me set up a merch store from scratch, show you guys how to do that? Because honestly, it was really easy to do and it's completely free to do. So if you have ideas for merch, why not use them? It doesn't matter on how big your community is. You might as well have one because you never know. Someone might buy a t-shirt from you and you'll make some money off of it. So let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see a video making a merch store. And then also I did have another video that I showed these settings on, but I'm about to show you my filters that I have running through my microphone as well. And you can copy these down to use on your microphone and see how it sounds for you. People always compliment me that my microphone sounds really good, that it sounds very professional. So if you like the way my microphone sounds and you would like to replicate these filters, I'm about to show them on screen for you right here and try them out. So you would go to the cogwheel for your microphone and then you would click on filters. And then right here, I have a compressor, a limiter, noise suppression, and a noise gate. Pretty much it makes my microphone sound more professional and more full. And it deletes more background noise as well. So I'm gonna leave these settings on screen for you so that you can copy them down. So these are the noise gate ones. Here's the noise suppression, the limiter, and the compressor. And play around with those and see what works best for your microphone and your voice. But after that, guys, that's pretty much how I have my OBS set up. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below what future tutorials would you like to see, and if you like this tutorial style of video. Anyway, let's roll that outro. All right, guys, and that is how you set up OBS with and without overlay packages. So hopefully after all of that, you guys have your OBS set up. And now you can just click start streaming and stream to your audience. Let me know in the comments down below if you found this video helpful and what other videos you would like to see on this channel. The next video is probably going to be a how to set up a Discord. If you're a Twitch streamer, YouTuber, whatever, how I have mine set up and how you can set one up pretty easily in under an hour. So take care, guys, and I'll see you live on Twitch.